let's get started. Now, I'm going to change, like I said, a little bit about notes, okay? And what I mean by that is I'm going to change, basically I'm going to give you what's called skeleton notes. Does anybody know what skeleton notes are? Okay. Well, what is the skeleton in regards to the body? What does it do?
Supports.
Well, kind of, right? You know, could a human function without skeleton? No. Okay, it's like the basics. Okay, so I'm giving you the basics of our notes, and then we will fill in the rest of it. Now, I put holes in these, okay, so that you can put them in your notebook. Okay, and we'll do this for this whole chapter. Okay, we'll try it this chapter to see how it goes. I've done this before, because sometimes, like right now, you guys are kind of like you don't take the greatest notes, so this is kind of a good tool to help you take good notes. Make sense? All right.
What about me, Mr. Percy?
Yeah, you. Hey, Lily, will you pass these out, please? Okay, you can continue to take the traditional notes if you want to, but these are just a good tool to have as we move forward. Okay? All right. So, this whole chapter is about probability. Okay? This whole chapter is about probability. Does anybody know? Well, first of all, you see on your notes where it says objective, we're going to write the objective. Okay? Everybody see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the objective for today or for the week?
The objective for today. Okay, here we go. Ready? All right, this is probability of simple events. Thank you. All right. Okay, probability of simple events. 2, 14, 22. Okay, so our objective today is to find and use the probability ratio for simple events. Okay? Okay, to find and use the probability ratio for simple events. Okay. All right, next, you see on your notes where it says probability is. Okay. Does anybody have any idea what probability is? Yeah.
Like how many times it could happen, like if
Okay.
you roll a dice.
Yeah, the probability, the exact definition, okay, I said probability is. Okay, probability is an event, actually we're going to call it a ratio of an event that compares. You guys remember what ratio is? Sailor, why aren't you writing this down? A ratio of an event that compares a favorable outcome to the total possible outcomes. Okay. So as you put this in your notes, okay, these are very, very important, okay? Hang on to these notes, okay, this whole chapter, okay? Hang on to these notes. Okay, so what do you think that means? Favorable outcomes to total possible outcomes. What does favorable mean? Brooklyn?
What's probably gonna happen?
Well, what we want to happen, right? Like if I flip a coin, okay, the easiest probability is thinking of a coin, okay? If I flip a coin and I say, Elijah, if I flip heads, you win $5, okay? What is favorable to Elijah? Heads, right? I mean, if I get heads, Elijah wins $5, right? Well, when we talk about a ratio is a fancy way of saying a what? What's a ratio? Anybody remember our ratios? What's a ratio? Anybody? Come on. Somebody take a guess. Trevor.
One number comparing to another number?
Okay, in what format? Jose? Fraction. Okay, a ratio is a fraction. Okay, so if I'm finding can I erase this? Does everybody have this all written down?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I'm finding the probability ratio, Elijah wants me to get a heads, right? Okay, how many heads are on a coin? So how many favorable outcomes are there? One. There's one. There's only one favorable. If I get a tails, does Elijah get $5?
No.
No, only if I get a heads, right? Well, how many possible outcomes are? Was that a sneeze?
2.
Okay, bless you. Wasn't sure, man. How many outcomes are there?
2.
Two. There's either heads or tails, right? So this would be my favorable. This would be my total. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay? Now, does anybody know what the complementary event is? Okay? Well, the good thing for Elijah is if we get a heads, he gets a what? He gets $5, right? Are you with me?
Yes.
So, what's the complement of getting a heads? In other words, the opposite of getting heads. What is the complement? Getting tails, right? If I get a tails, does he get $5?
No.
No. Okay, are you with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's look down at that example. Okay, see where it says example 1? You see where it says example 1? Okay. And it says, what is the probability of rolling a multiple of 3 on a number cube marked with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Okay. Well, if I have a number cube that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. What is that? A number cube with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is that?
Dice.
Like a die, right? Okay? Like a regular die, right? So, when it says a multiple of 3, okay, we're going to write this as the probability of a multiple of 3. Well, what's a multiple of 3? 6 is a multiple of 3. What's another multiple of 3?
9.
9. Is there a 9 on a number cube, though?
No.
Not this one. What's another multiple of 3?
3.
3. Okay? So how many, between these numbers, how many of these are multiples of 3?
2.
This one and
Oh, wait,
this one, right? One's a factor, but not a multiple.
Oh.
Okay? So 3 and a 6. So how many multiples are there?
2.
2. Now how many total, what are all of the outcomes I could get if I roll a number cube?
6.
6. Okay, now, your worksheet is going to tell you that you are supposed to answer these as a ratio or a fraction in simplest form. Well, is that in simplest form? No. What can I simplify this to?
1/3.
1/3. Okay, so I would have the probability of rolling a multiple of 3 would be 1/3. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, using those same numbers, let's say I said the probability of a non-multiple of 3. Remember, what is that called? Rhymes with flumplement.
Complement.
That's the complement. So not a multiple of 3. Well, can I use the answer that I already have? Think about this.
No.
If there are 2 out of the 6 that are multiples of 3, how many out of 6 are not multiples of 3?
4.
4. Right? So what would that be? 4 out of 6, which would simplify to what?
2/3.
2/3. Okay. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Pretty easy, right? Okay, let's look at example 2.
Wait.
I'm sorry, that is example 2. That's example 1 and example 2. Okay? Okay, do you see where to put those examples on your notes? Okay? Write that stuff down. Yes.
What does the P stand for?
What is what? Probability.
Probability.
Yeah, probability. Okay. All right, you with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay, turn your notes over. Okay, and we're going to find a couple of probabilities here. Okay, this says, somebody read that example 3 to me. Okay, Brooklyn, read that.
A set of 30 cards is numbered 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth, 30. Suppose you pick a card at random without looking. Find the probability of each of them. Write as a fraction in simplest form.
Okay. So first of all, before we find any of this probability, what do we need to determine? How many total possible outcomes are there? There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 30, right? Okay, so how many are there? There's 30 possible outcomes, right? Okay, so we know that there are 30 total outcomes. Okay, let's look at and see if we can find some probabilities. The first one says the probability of a multiple of 5. Okay, well, let's go from numbers, it starts with 1, right? Okay, from 1 to 30, and let's figure out how many multiples of 5 are there. What's the first multiple of 5? 5, that's how many? 1. So 5, 10, 15.
25, 30.
So how many is that?
6.
So there are 6 out of what?
30.
Now, what can I do with that?
Divided by 3.
Divided by 6.
Divided by
You divided by 5.
Well,
6.
if I'm going to simplify this,
Oh, divided by 3.
how many 6 is going to 6?
6.
1.
How many 6 is going to 6?
1.
And how many 6 is going to 30?
5.
5. Okay, so there was the probability of that happening would be 1 in 5.
Oh, that sucks.
Okay, look at the next one. There is a word here that means something. This word or. If I said Elijah gets $5 if I flip a heads or a tails, is that good for Elijah?
Yes. Yeah.
Why?
Because if he gets a head,
Because either one is okay, right? If I get a tails, you're good. If I get a heads, you're good. Either one of those. That word or means either one of those works, right? So what does that or mean here? What is the probability of me drawing a 2? Is a 2 okay?
yeah,
Or I can also draw what?
a 3.
Because the word or means either one of those is okay. So how many out of the 30 are a 2 or a 3?
2.
Okay, listen. How many 2s are there?
1.
How many 3s are there?
1.
So if either one of these is okay, there are 2 of the how many? 30. Okay, can I simplify this?
Yes.
What would that simplify
1
to?
out of 15.
1 out of 15. Okay. All right, next one. The probability of a 12. Okay, how many 12s are there?
1.
There's only one 12, right?
Yeah.
So if there's only one 12,
It would be 1 out of 30.
can I simplify that?
No.
The probability is simply 1 out of 30, isn't it? Okay. Now this next one says the probability of a number less than or equal to 10. Okay. So let's first list the numbers that are less than 10 that we could get. Could we get a 1? Could we get a 1?
Yes.
Could we get a 2?
Yes.
A 3?
Yes.
A 4?
Yes.
A 5?
Yes.
A 6?
Yes.
A 7?
Yes.
An 8?
Yes.
A 9?
Yes.
A 10?
Yes.
Any more?
No.
Why? Because it has to be less than or
Equal to
equal to 10. So how many is that?
10.
10 out of how many?
30.
10 out of 30, which I could reduce to what?
1/3.
1/3. Okay. Somebody think of another. Okay, try this. What if I said the probability of getting a 0? This isn't on your notes, but you can fill it in there. How many zeros are there?
0.
There's none. Is there such thing as no probability? I could get a 0 out of 30. If I said the probability, okay, if I say Elijah, if it's heads or tails, you win $5. Okay. If it is green, then you'd win nothing. Okay, what's the probability of getting a green?
No.
There is no green, right? Okay, if there is no such thing as that probability, then it's just 0. Okay. Put your head up, please. Okay. All right.
0 over 20 or 0 over 10?
That's a 30. But it doesn't matter because it's still going to be 0.
I like these notes.
Okay, so let's take a look. Somebody give me another probability I could find from that 1 through 30. Okay, Chase.
The probability of getting anything greater than or equal to 30.
Okay, greater than or equal to 30. Write that down. How many of these numbers are greater than 30?
0.
0. How many of them are equal to 30? 1 out of how many? 30. Okay. All right. What if somebody give me another probability I can find here?
30.
Huh?
30.
What about 30?
28.
Probability of a 28?
Yeah.
Well, how many 28s are there?
1.
1 out of how many?
30.
Give me a little more thoughtful probability. Jose.
A multiple of 2.
Okay. Or what's another way of saying that? Could I say a probability of an even number?
Yeah.
Well, how many even numbers are there?
2,
2,
6, 8.
4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. How many is that?
30.
15 out of how many?
30.
30 would be what?
1 half.
1/2. Somebody give me a probability of this. I tell you what, try this one. If I said the probability of a number without a 1. How many numbers don't have a 1? Let's go through them. 2,
9.
3, 4, 5, 6,
No,
7, 8, 9. Can we use 10?
No.
Can we use 11?
No.
Can we use anything up through 19?
No.
Can we use 20?
Yes.
How many is that so far? 10, right? 20, can we use 21?
No.
22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. How many is that?
That's
19 out of 30. What would that be?
nothing.
Can I do anything with 19 over 30?
No.
It would just stay 19 over 30. Okay? Does this make sense to you?
Yes.
Pretty easy stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going